Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming to the master class. I don't get to do these very often, so this will be a pleasure for me as well. And we'll see what I can show you. I'll do my best. And I was thinking on the way here about, it was big points that I would make, things that I felt helped me in this contest over the years. So I'll make a few big points and then kind of try and apply them to whatever pieces all of you are playing. And I'll have at least 3 of you, maybe 4, come up here and play for the whole class. So some of the ideas that I came up with, I wrote them down on my cell phone. First of all, before you even play the piano, the repertoire that you choose really does make a difference. And I'm not sure if the full scorecards are really available to you until after the contest is over, but it helps to know the things that you are scored upon, you know, the things that you get points for, one of which is difficulty of music selections. So if you choose a tune, like say, with no offense to Paul Orsi, if you choose a tune like Way Down Upon the Swanee River, you're going to lose 5 points for that because the tune is extremely simple. And then the other thing is that you don't ever want to play every note exactly as it's written on the page. You want to make your own personal arrangement of every song that you play in this contest. I'm going to try and kind of tailor the masterclass specifically to this contest and things that might help you perform here in Oxford. And so, and then we get into more pianistic things. We might talk about contrast and dynamics and so forth. And then even your interaction with the audience gets you points, and your costume gets you points in this contest. Maybe it's only 5 or 10, but everything helps. So those are some of the big ideas I wanted to mention. And with those things said, let's get to more specifics, and let's have the youngest come up first. Alex, come on up here and play something for us. Alex Hutchison, everybody. Here he comes. Welcome to The Price is Right. No. What are you going to play for us? Maybe, let's see. Why don't I put one of these mics on the stand for the piano student? Bet there's another one backstage. Hold on. Is there? Maybe. Maybe not. Nope, I don't see it. You can just tell me. Have you decided?
Yeah.
Okay, what's it going to be? Cloud Kisser. Okay, he played this in the contest yesterday. I am going to sit over here on the couch and watch very closely. Knock 'em dead. Well, we are going to give you a mic in case you decide you have something really important to say. Everybody can hear you. Well, you know, your performance on the whole is so impressive. It is full of life and dynamic contrast, which is a big important thing that most pianists strive for. And without the sheet music in front of us, we may be missing that for a lot of the music we're playing today. It could be hard for me to correct notes and chords and things. But there might be some things I can help you with. And that includes fingering in some sections I saw. Like, for instance, how did this section go? Was it the third part of the piece? Yeah. Play a little bit more for me. Do you have a piano teacher at home that has already helped you with this fingering? Was it sort of pre-planned? No. Okay. So let me see you do that again. The second part's great. Play the first part. Yeah. Well, you know, you do it very well, but let me see. Something like that. You want to avoid the weaker fingers when you can. Like, yeah. Well, actually, he's fingering it perfectly. I really cannot think of anything better to say. I just saw you using fourth finger a couple of times, and you do want to avoid that when you can. It's just a difficult way to play. Now, there are times when you have to use your weaker fingers, and then you just have to do that. But I think on the whole, the performance might have also been a little bit dry. You could use pedal. Like I said, dynamic contrast in other ways is one of the big things that pianists strive for. So you can create contrast in so many different ways, not only with dynamics, but with pedaling and speed and tempo and all kinds of other ways. So how many, there's 3 sections in the piece, is that right?
4.
So 4 sections. Right, the A section. And then the B section, let's talk about the B section. Let's add contrast by using a little more pedal. The sustain pedal. Let me hear you play the first few measures of the B section with more pedal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's better. Well, we want to keep doing that. Keep going. Keep going. There's one of those places where you're using your fourth fingers, your weaker fingers. Yeah. Try like fingers 1 and 2 instead. Now, yeah, jump up here. Yeah, very good. Yeah, you got it, Alex. Now play the whole thing through with the additional pedal and the change in fingering, and put it all together.
Just the B section?
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Very good. Very good. Let's see. Oh, I noticed one other little thing. You want to always keep your hands as close to the keys as possible. It's the principle of economy of motion. And I saw that your thumb was playing around down here off the keyboard. That thumb is going to get in the way unless you watch it. So avoid that. I won't make you play it again, but avoid that. And now let's go to, say, the third section of the piece. Remind me how that goes. Okay, we're going to change that fingering. Do that again. Let me watch closely. So when we come up here, let's see. You do have to use your fourth finger there, but try something different there. So let's play this with the thumb. Yes, much better. Keep going. What's next? I would use your third and second finger. Yeah, isn't that easier? Yes. Boy, he picks it up fast. Yeah, keep going. Oh, nope, you reverted to the old fingers. Try it again. Yeah. Very good. Okay, now is that fourth section is actually the same as the B section, isn't it? In a different key.
Yeah.
I just noticed that. So, you know, what I would recommend is on the fourth section, which is a repeat of the B strain in a different key, use the same thing that we did the first time around. Use a little more pedal to add contrast. Give that a shot. Yeah, go ahead and play the last section. That's the end of the piece. Okay, let's work on the very last section a little bit more. So the additional pedal I think is good for contrast, but that was a little too much this time. And because you don't want to blur the different chords together, you don't want to blur the different harmonies. And then I noticed fingering. You were using that weak finger again. Go for stronger fingers there. Wait a minute, that's too quiet. We can't hear. Yeah, there. Give it more power. There you go. Much better. Very good. Very good. Everybody likes it. Yeah, because that's the end of the piece, you want to give it a little more power, a little bit more strength, so people know, hey, the end's coming up. It's exciting, and now we got to clap. You know, this is important in this contest as well. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to try and give you suggestions that help specifically with this contest. There are other things that you don't need help with, like costume and your interaction with the audience. That came very naturally to you yesterday. You had a lot, you don't need any help with those kind of things.
Working on my showmanship.
Yes, yes. Oh, that is, well, that's important in this contest. Unlike classical piano competitions, you get points for these other things in this contest. Do you have any questions for me? No, nothing in particular? Okay. Well, in that case, I might go ahead and invite one of the other pianists up here. I hope that was a little bit helpful. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. Why don't we have, let's see, Leo, come on up here. Leo Roth, everybody. All right. What are you going to play for us?
Reflection Rag by Scott Joplin.
Reflection Rag. Okay, good. We heard this yesterday. Bravo. Okay, Leo. Well, this one I'm a little nervous about because I understand Leo has been taking piano lessons with Bill McNally for about the last month, virtually. So we'll see. If I say anything totally wrong, correct me, Bill. I have never played this piece. It's one of the later Joplin works. The later Joplin music is not quite as upbeat as the early Joplin works. Although this one, I guess it's somewhere in the middle, and I like the tempo where you played it and everything. And you have wonderful dynamic expression. Maybe that's something Bill has worked with you on that, I can tell. One comment I might make is that ragtime music used to be, maybe not these days, but it was primarily for dancing. And so you want to keep a very steady beat. And the dancers can't move their feet and dance correctly if, oh, well, we're going to skip a beat here or there. Even if it's just a hesitation in the music or you're not sure exactly what notes come next, it occurs to me you might practice a little bit with a metronome. For example, towards the end of the first section, can you play a little bit of that for me?
Towards the
End of the A section. Yeah, right there. Bum, 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 bum. Well, that was great that time. I think when you first played it, it seemed like you slowed down a bit. So play a little more of the A section and then go into the end of it. Yeah. I didn't notice it as much that time, but you want to keep a steady beat. I think you slow down a little bit on those thirds and make sure that the memorization is 100% there so you don't have hesitations and things. Let me hear a bit of the B section. Remind me how that goes. Yeah, that's great contrast. You see, you're playing more quietly and using a pedal. That's great. I think it was the third section where I felt like it was almost too soft and we couldn't quite hear the melody. So let me hear the third section now.
C-section?
Yeah, the C section. Okay, let me stop you there. How many? There's just 4 sections. Is that right?
5.
Oh, there are 5. See, I thought so. There's another melody I'm searching for. Try D.
That's the E string.
Okay, so I think I'm looking for D. Sorry, I think I'm looking for D. Yeah. So what I might suggest here is one of my very best piano teachers taught me about top voicing. So the melody's not always in the top voice, but you always want to bring out the melody. So try and play the melody with a little more emphasis. The left hand is great where it is. Try to play the melody, just make it sing out a little more brightly.
All right.
That's better. It is. I think almost on the whole, it's almost like too quiet or something. Try and bring out that melody a little more.
Okay.
You're getting there. Yeah, it's better. I think you need to practice the whole piece with a metronome. I feel like there's a steadiness there that it may be missing. You should imagine people dancing a 2-step to this or something, you know? That's really what the music is dance music. Now that last section, it was fantastic because you already had a lot of strength and power to it. You know, it's the climax of the piece of music, kind of like I was talking about with Alex. Let's hear you play it anyway. This piece is really unusual. You say there's 5 sections? Is that
5 strings: an A string, B string, C string, D string, and an E string.
Yeah, are they all like 16 measures or something? All the same length?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. 'Cause usually rags only have 3 or 4 sections. 5 is pretty unusual. So now, does each repeat twice?
Yes.
Okay.
I repeats.
So yeah, right. So that E string, you repeat it twice in performance.
Right.
So the second time through that is the final section of the piece. What do you think we could add to it to make it even more exciting?
Maybe alter the score a little bit, maybe play the melody and octave.
That's exactly what I was going to suggest you do. And furthermore, let's take the left hand. You know, the old sheet music for ragtime pieces was simplified for the people that bought it. We don't want to play it exactly as it's written. We want to make your own personal arrangements of this piece. And so you get points for originality on the scorecards for this contest. So not only take the melody an octave up, how about adding an octave in the left hand instead of single notes? Yeah. It's tough to do.
Yeah.
Try it again. Ignore those people in the audience. Just do it.
Okay. What are you doing here?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Maybe we should do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Just do the right hand up an octave, and then we'll work on the left hand. Much better, much better. Okay. I'll tell you what I'll try this time. Let me demonstrate a little something in the left hand for you.
Great.
So just scooch for a minute. And so, as I said, the ragtime sheet music is simplified. You know, what does this sound like? How does this sound to you? Kind of simple.
Yeah.
It sounds like a very, very young piano student who is not very skilled. This, I'm not saying that of you, of course. This is like amateur piano scoring. So you have to make it better. And in order to make it better, I suggest octaves in the left hand. And unfortunately, I don't have the sheet music for this piece in front of me, or I could demonstrate even more. I think it's B flat chord, right? And then it's E flat. And then you might add in a 10th in the left hand. I know your hands are small, but if you roll it real quick, you can do that. I think it goes to F minor, is that right?
Yeah.
It's an F minor chord. And play it with a lot of power and strength.
Right.
Try it that way.
Octave higher.
Yeah. Just do the left hand by itself. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. Let's see. I think it's B flat 7 again, the chord. There you go, yep. Very good. And when you have a little octave descending passage like this, you can add a little emphasis to it. Yeah, use a little pedal. Try again. Start more softly and grow the other direction.
With the pedal on the first note.
Yeah. Yeah, you actually, you want to emphasize the dissonance, so emphasize the F sharp. Yeah, that's a little more, but try it again. Try it again. A little more on the F as well. There you go. That's what we want. And then keep going with the left hand passage. Oompa, oompa. There we go. Yeah, you got it. So you just have to run through this a few times at home. You know, you'll get that, and I think that'll add a lot to Reflection Rag, don't you? Good. We are not slaves to the written note, unlike Bach, Beethoven, and Brahms. Scott Joplin, James Scott, and Joseph Lamb are a lot more fun. Gosh.
Chopin can be pretty fun.
Oh, Chopin's fantastic. And Chopin did not simplify his music, unlike the music publishers who published all that music during the ragtime era. They were selling to these 14-year-old female piano students in the early 1900s who really couldn't play as well as Mr. Joplin. So anyway, do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay. I hope that was helpful, Leo. Good, okay. Well, let's bring John Banks coming up here. John, second place winner in yesterday's contest. Here he comes. All right, John, what are you going to play for us? T for two. Yeah, good choice. T for two. Actually, I'm going to stand up here so I can. Not to make you nervous, but that's all right. Go ahead. Bravo! Awesome, John. use the mic a little bit, just make sure everybody can hear you, because I have a couple of
Hello?
questions. Yeah.
All right.
My first question is, where did you get this arrangement of the piece?
I made up most of it, and I
Okay.
took a lot from Fats Waller.
So a lot's from Fats Waller.
Yeah.
So I noticed you played this, unlike the other pieces which were instrumental rags you heard this morning. This is an old standard. It's a song from a Broadway show. Do you know the name of the Broadway show?
I do not.
These are the things you should always learn before you play one of these pieces in the contest. Because what if Ted Lehman asks you what year the song was written, or who sang the song, or what Broadway show it was in? It was in a show called No No Nanette.
That's right. I
Yeah.
remember seeing it, but I'd forgotten what it was.
Anyway, okay. So I noticed you played the verse to the song in the middle of this arrangement. So where does that whole first part come from? Is it the Fats Waller recording, or? Yeah, is
basically
that
the
just
first
something you
half
made
is-
up, or?
The first half is mostly Fats Waller.
So, okay, so I kind of figured it was like a Fats Waller improvisation or something.
Yeah.
Did you read it out of a transcription, the sheet music?
No, and it's not.
Just-
It's not exactly. It's just.
Right.
I sort of listened to it and
Hey, that's
did it a little bit. Simpler.
an important skill, being able to listen to a recording and figure out what's being done on the recording. That's quite impressive, really. So now let me think. So you did not use sheet music, in which case I might be able to help you correct a few of the harmonies and so forth.
Okay.
I wish we had the sheet music for all of the pieces we're playing today, because that can be very helpful. I don't recommend people play things by ear, because then they get chords and harmonies that aren't quite right. So you started in one key and went to another key, which is a great thing to do. I know the piece is originally written in A flat, so I can look and let me demonstrate for you. When you go to A flat, now a lot of people know this old song, so it's important to have the chords right. At the end of the piece, at the end of the chorus, you're playing a D flat major chord. Those harmonies aren't quite right. This is another reason I always recommend that you don't use jazz lead sheets, because the chords are wrong. If you look in the original sheet music, which is not hard to find, for T for 2 from 1924, this is B flat minor. And then there's an F7, B flat minor, diminished chord, diminished again, B flat minor, and then it goes to D flat minors, D as in dog. This is an unusual harmony. It's a diminished chord, B flat minor, and then 5. There's a diminished chord right there. See if you can play it that way.
I don't know if I can get all of them. But
Well,
I'll try
give it
some.
a shot. Give it a shot. I'll help you as you go along. Yeah, there you go. Yes, he got it all. You got it all. That was perfect.
I didn't know in there.
Um,
What comes after that?
Diminished, yeah. D flat minor. See, I knew, because you did this own arrangement all on your own, I knew you would understand all the chords I was telling you. That's an important thing to understand, all the harmonies. A lot of classical piano teachers will not teach that to their students. But the fact that you know all this is really great. So let's keep going to the end of the chorus there. Yeah, D flat minor. Now it's A flat major. T, 4. This is the diminished chord. It would be like A flat diminished.
Yeah.
That's it.
So it's like a G,
Yeah.
G
Well, it's an A flat diminished chord, but with a G natural in the melody. That's what it is. Yes, very good. And then B flat minor, sorry. B flat minor, then E flat, 5, 5, 1. Yeah, that's it. So, and you know, anytime you're looking for this old sheet music, most of these famous old standards, you can get them on eBay for about $5, or email me and I'll scan it for you. Those are your options. And looking at that old music can be very helpful as well. Unlike modern jazz lead sheets, there's all kinds of counter melodies and harmonies in the original music that might be missing. And these are things you can use in your own arrangements. And so that's all fantastic, the fact that you understand all this. There's some other points that I might bring up, kind of like I did with Leo in, there's like a fourth section of his piece, bring out top voicing, bring out the melody, which is not necessarily in the top voice in this piece. I'd like to hear you do that a little more. Say play the first chorus, and then try and bring out that melody note more than everything else that you're playing.
Okay, did you mean this first chorus?
Sure. Well, do it every time. You always want to bring out the melody. Always. More. I want to hear that melody more. Yes, that's better. I'd like to hear even more. Okay, so when you're doing that, let me see. That's where the melody is. Bring that out more. Make it louder. It's tough to do, isn't it?
I'm always stressing myself about that tenth because I can't reach it.
Oh, yeah, you just did. You have no trouble with it.
I know, but fast I hit the E down there.
Oh, okay. You may have to roll it really fast. There you go. That's a wrong chord. That E7 doesn't go in there.
Oh, I like
You can play it if you want. That's part of how the game works.
it. What is it supposed to be?
It's just, well, what key are you in? E flat? I think it's
this
G
one-
natural, isn't it?
I don't know. This is the other section where it starts in A minor.
Yeah. Bum. You can add that in there. It's a nice kind of jazz improvisation. Yeah.
It's just supposed to be G then.
It is just supposed to be G. Yeah. Doesn't matter because it's your own arrangement. Remember?
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Just making sure you knew about it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay, let me stop you there. You can practice these things once you get home, like that top voicing and the melody here. Remember to bring that out. Now there was one variation you did where you were like playing a chord in the right hand. Where did that go?
Is this the...
Yes. I noticed when you played the chord up here, you were kind of playing it, what word do I want? Sort of lackluster. I want to hear you make sure you concentrate on hitting all those notes you aim for, because I know you know what those notes are supposed to be. You got to hit them so everybody else can hear it.
All right.
Play a little bit of that whole chorus for me. Yeah, and just watch those chords you're hitting in the right hand. Okay, so you're kind of hitting these chords. It looks like a little puppy dog with your hands like this. Don't roll your hand off the keyboard that fast. I want to hear you hit those notes clearly. So maybe try the right hand by itself. Good. Hit that last chord with a little more emphasis. Too much. Yes, I think that sounds better because those upper chords are on the offbeat. And that's the syncopation that makes it ragtime that makes everybody tap their feet. So when you accent the offbeats, it sounds cool. So, and I think, keep going. I want to hear that whole chorus again.
Okay. And with the left hand or just right?
Yeah, both hands, yeah. Keep going, keep going. No. Hit those upper chords more precisely, with a little more emphasis. Keep going. There you go. Yes. Dee-dee. 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 Okay, well that's very good. You got the idea now, right? Okay. I have one final suggestion for you, and then I think there's going to be plenty of time to bring John Patrick up here. But when you're making your own arrangements of these pieces, which is something very impressive, you're doing your own arrangements. I didn't see too many of the other contestants doing that. But when you do that, I noticed you're playing chords way down here in the bass, like this. That's right.
I need to paint myself with that.
Aha! Okay, so we already know what I'm going to say, which is that you don't play full chords this low in the bass because it sounds muddy on the piano. You only play a single note or an octave or a melodic passage. You don't play chords down here like this. So you're going to have to challenge yourself to jump with your hands. Stride. That's what it's called. You have to move the hand further. No laziness.
All right.
Okay. Except you're not hitting those chords quite. There you go. You've already got the idea, striding further with your left hand. One of the only things I've ever heard that really helps with that left hand is one of the great pianists that I worked with, Paul Azzaro, told me this. He said, when you're playing stride and you want to hit a note that's way low down in the bass and you don't quite know where to aim for the octave. Even if you're only playing the one note with your pinky, aim for the octave. Your hand knows what it feels like. Exactly right. So maybe that'll help you with arranging your own tunes and so forth. Yeah? Okay, good. Glad I happened to mention that. Well, any final questions, John?
Well, I might ask you what you do whenever you're arranging a piece or something like this.
So if you didn't hear, he just asked me what I do when I'm arranging a piece like this. What I do is very similar to what you did, with a couple of additions. I don't play the chords quite that low in the bass. I add key changes just like you did. I might play the verse first. One of the tricks that I use in this contest is I would take the verse to one of these old pop songs, and very often the verses sound different than the chorus, like Alabama Bound, which I played as a demonstration yesterday. The verse is in a minor key, so I would play it really slow like a funeral dirge just to exaggerate it, and then play the rest of the piece at regular dance tempo. And so that's kind of what I would do when I was going through and would arrange
it's hard
things.
to recognize, but actually that is supposed to be.
With the thing in thirds, yeah, okay.
I mean, it doesn't really sound like
It doesn't really sound like the verse. I kind of figured it was. You know, I just said play it really slow, but actually in this case, I think I would play that a little more steady tempo so people can recognize the melody to the verse. I would play that a little more steady. It doesn't have to be real fast. You can speed up later, but anyway, that's what I would do. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, thank you so much, John.
Bravo.
Let's have John Patrick come up here. John Patrick Hutchinson, everybody. Awesome. Oh, he brought the sheet music. Thank you very much. Okay. He's going to play Coal Smoke. That's great. I don't know this. Bravo, bravo. I'm not even all that sure we're going to need this sheet music, but just in case. That is fantastic. You know, the first thing that stood out to me when he performed this yesterday is something I talked about with the first 3 students in the master class, which is that drive towards the end of the piece. You really gave it a lot of strength and power and excitement at the end of the piece. That is a nice contrast. And but I have one major sort of overall suggestion that I'm not sure if you'll like this, but I think you're playing it a little too fast. On the whole, this is not like a real showpiece. It's this piece, Coal Smoke, was published by John Stark, who was Scott Joplin's music publisher. It was the house of classic ragtime. And classic rags are not necessarily usually all that flashy. And this piece is very complex and very unusual. The melody goes all over the place. It's very unusual. And so personally, I would like to hear it a little bit slower, just a little bit uh, slower where we can hear all of these harmonic nuances and so forth. So try the first section, and which is in a minor keys. I might also play it a little more quietly, just down the tempo, just a notch. Let's hear it. Yes, I like that better. Man, I wish I was like your regular piano teacher, because we could do a lot with this. So it's in a minor key, and when that harmony changes, I've tried to say, maybe I haven't made a big point of this with the other students, that making contrast from one section to the next is a major thing that's very important. In fact, not just from one section to the next, with every phrase of the music. So, when you go from minor key, here, I think the E flat major starts, where does that start? Right here, last measure on the first page. Let me hear you emphasize that with more pedal, because you're not using too much pedal at the beginning. Let's hear that contrast when you get to this measure. Demonstrate it for everybody.
First section?
Yep. Very good, but I want more. So just start right about here and add more pedal when you get to the E flat chord. Yeah, very good. You might even emphasize it more with volume from your fingers. Try it one more time. There, that's what we want. That's very good. And you know, I noticed, let me do one more thing with the A section, which is I want to hear you bring out the melody in the right hand. I keep saying, bring out the melody. Bring that out a little more than the left hand. Very good. I liked it much better. So remember to bring out that melody on the right hand. Now, I noticed in the sheet music that the B section, which I have all screwed up here, whatever, the B section is marked forte. I'm not sure I like that a whole lot. It's very melodic. That top note is a little bit of a dissonance, so let me hear you play that more quietly, and again, bring out the melody and emphasize that top note, which is going to resolve downward in the melody. Let's hear it. Very good, very good. I love the emphasis on the melody. There are so many interesting harmonies in this piece that make it sound cool. Some of it is right here. It goes to a diminished chord. You see that? Emphasize that a little more, both with your fingers and with pedal. Give that a shot. Yes. Actually, that's not even diminished chord. That's the seventh chord. But anyway, that's better. And now there are little counter melodies you can bring out. Like I said with the top note of the melody line in this phrase, well, you can do it in this phrase too. See how it goes B flat, A flat, and G, F, it goes down. Bum, 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 bum. Let me hear you bring that out as you play the section. Bum, quiet, and then more. So this phrase is going to be complicated. You're going to bring out this melody line as it goes down in the upper voice, and then a little bit quieter here on the tonic chord. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured you did. And then we want more on the diminished chord in that seventh or whatever they are. More. Yeah, quiet again. Grow. Very good. Oh, that's perfect. Well, we're going to move on from those pages anyway. Let's see what's next. I love what you did with the trio. So the first two measures repeat quite a bit, and I noticed how on the second repeat you changed the dynamic level. That was great. On the whole, I would play this section a little louder.
Okay.
So let me hear you do the trio. Let's just see how it goes. Remember the initial comment, which is, I think it's a little too fast. You're excited, which is great, but this is a very complex melody. Whatever the notes are, that's irrelevant. The point is it's a very complex melody written in 16th notes, and there's a lot to get through, and we want the audience to be able to appreciate all of that. So I would play it a little slower. And do you have a piano teacher at home that has helped you with the fingering on that section?
Yes.
Well, I don't know that I agree with it. Maybe I shouldn't mess with it. Because I'm not a piano teacher. But let me hear you play the whole section again. And like I said, just a little slower. Very good, John. Let me stop you there before we go to the last section. Remember with the last student, I think it was John Beggs, I had him play the left hand a little further down. That would sound great here. Can you play these octaves? On the second repeat of the trio, do them down here. Make it even more dramatic. Here, on the second repeat of the trio, yeah, you do repeat the trio, so try that. It's tough. Why don't you try the left hand by itself? Yeah. Very good. That may just take some practice at home, but do you like the way it sounds?
Yeah.
I figured you would. It's a great little technique you can use in any piece, all of you. Either play the octaves further down in the bass or take the melody, play it an octave higher on the second repeat of the section. It's a very easy variation. It makes your own arrangement of this piece. Now let's hear that final section. Yeah, remember, a little bit slower is the way we started it, so we have to keep it that way. no speeding up, sir. Keep going. I want to hear it one more time. Very good. I don't have a whole lot to say about that section, except, if you agree about slowing the piece down on the whole, one thing you might do is practice with a metronome, because that will help you keep it steady throughout the piece. There are such interesting harmonies in this piece. Right towards the end, it goes to, what is that, F flat? So it's really what is it, an E7 chord? Is that what it is? Yeah. So that's very unusual. It's the flat 6 chord in the key of A flat. So you want to bring that out, and you did. Well, I think you could do it even more. Rather than emphasizing it, what you might do is you might play it more quietly. Try, the last 8 measures of the D section. I want you to start further back in the section. Yeah. Okay, strike what I said. I don't like playing that softly. I think you want to emphasize it. Play that octave in the left hand stronger, add a little more pedal, emphasize it. Let me hear you do that. More. No? Okay. So you played the E flat louder than you did the F flat. I want to hear that F flat when you get there. No, you still played that E flat louder. Try it one more time. Well, you got the idea. I hope that's helpful. And I hope I haven't been too hard on any of the students this morning, but you have any questions, John? Not really? Oh, I said too much, didn't I? Well, thanks to all of you. It's been over an hour now, so I guess we should call it quits, but I hope this has been helpful to all of you, and we'll see you back in here at 1 o'clock for the finals. Thanks. John Patrick, everybody.